this is Ms. Ziegler, and I'm going to go over your atoms versus ions activity. So first thing is you have these slides that you are going to click through to give you information, okay? And then you have the actual slides of the board diagrams that you are actually going to do. So once you have that, once you've gone through at least the first few slides, it'll give you information. So you're going to click on this button on the bottom to load your sheet that you need. Okay, so here's the sheet that you will get with your name, of course, on here. So here's the student sheet. So here it tells you the directions as to what you're supposed to do. Ultimately, again, it is a counting activity. So you can either go back to your Canvas activity here to get the slides here, or you can click this link to open up the same slides. Either way, you do need to know that the information that you need is in the slides. It's in the first slide. The slide 2 and 3 are the ones that are very important to you. So slide 2 explains that if your protons are equal to your electrons, then it is an atom. If your protons are greater than your electrons, then it's a cation, it's a positive ion. If your protons are less than your electrons, then it's a negative ion. That is what you're doing. So again, count the number of protons and electrons, positive and negatives, and then you're going to put the information in the chart, okay? Slide 2 tells you when you're naming your ions and your atoms. So first thing is when you determine the name of the atom and the cation or the anion, again, based off of if it has a charge or if it doesn't, okay? If it's an atom, the name is just its name. If it's a cation, same thing, it's named the same way. If it's an anion, this is how you name. So again, as I said, it tells you here as well, you're changing the anion name to have an ending of IDE. If it's a cation, the name is the same as an atom. So here you can clearly see that when it's nitrogen, what will happen is you're going to chop off this end and change it into nitride. So for all of the negative ions, they're all listed here. So really, you just have to go to this slide, which again is slide 3 on your sheet, okay, to name when it's an anion. You can always, what I would suggest is that you complete the sheet before and then go back. So for example, this is slide 1, okay, so you're counting the number of protons and then electrons, and you're going to put that number in. Okay, then, so let's do number 1. So I know that number 1, there's only 1 proton. Okay, I know for number of electrons is also 1. So therefore, if I look here, protons equal to electrons, that means it's an atom. So therefore, I'm going to type in atom. So when it does this, all you're going to do is just hit backspace. It'll clear everything out. Then you put that, okay? Then you get the name of this atom. So again, looking at your periodic table, how do I get my name of my atom or my cation or even my anion to get the name of the element? It's the number of protons, which is 1. So I know that the name is hydrogen, okay? And then when it says symbol, so symbol of an atom, cation or anion. So therefore, an atom is just its symbol, which is just H. When it is correct, you hit enter. It will change color. Again, this is self-grading, so it will tell you if you have it correct. So if while you're doing this, if you need help, first thing before you ask to see why it's not changing color is first, make sure you count it correctly. Okay, is the number of protons, electrons correctly counted? Okay, if there are more protons, again, it tells you right here, more protons than electrons, you know that this is a cation. If it's if it's less protons than electrons, it's an anion. Okay, so this is determined based off of this information. The name, this is all based off of whether it's an atom, cation, or anion. If it's an anion, the only time that you have to look at slide 3, so all you're going to do is make sure that you need to go back to slide 3 when you're trying to get one of these names. I would suggest you do this as the last thing because that will be the one thing that will take you the longest, okay? Cation, same name, is just what you're looking up. So the only difference for your symbol is whatever the chemical symbol is. If there's a charge, you're going to put the charge. So let's look at one that actually may have a charge. Okay, so when I look here, so I'm going to look. Okay, so for example, number 3, I have 1 proton and no electrons. Okay, so if I go back here, this is 1, this is 0. More protons than electrons. That means this is a cation. Okay, this name is still hydrogen. It's a hydrogen cation. Okay, but now if I do this, this would not be right because this is not the same thing as this. Okay, I have to put whatever the charge is. So it's a plus. Okay, actually, and you actually have to put plus and the number. The way that you get this number is you're going to subtract these two. Okay, since it's a difference of 1 and it's a 1 positive, that's why it's a +1. That's the reason why this is correct. Okay, so if you have any questions as to why it's changing or why it's not changing colors, make sure that there's no extra spaces after or before, and that it's spelled correctly, and that you have the correct number of charge if it is a cation or an anion. Again, if you have any questions, please make sure you reach out.